Hey, what's going on? We're back and another fun video. It's not going to be an opening. This one's going to be a little bit different. I got my old Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I had from when I played back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. I think I started playing around 2002. And then I kind of lost interest a bit in 2004. But I still got all my cards. Want to share them with you. Get your thoughts, things like that. What you think. I know from my last video, definitely was a lot better than the videos I've done before. This one was super clear and not all pixelated and things like that. And the big thing, you couldn't comment. I realized that earlier today when I was going through, I could see that comments were apparently disabled. That's fixed now, so you are able to comment. So my last video, if you like what you saw, like it, please subscribe, and of course leave a comment of what you thought about that video, and of course leave a comment about this video, what you liked about the cards or what your thoughts on the cards, things like that. But before we get started, I will do another giveaway. All right, so I have Insect Princess, all right, Ritual Weapon, and Maha Vilo. So please, by all means, like, subscribe, and leave a comment and tell me what you think about these cards I have today. All right, so first we're gonna go over my deck. All right, so these are the cards in my deck. I put them in a bit of an order, try to make sense of it so I'm not just randomly talking about each individual card that comes up. And kind of, at least for the monsters, a bit of the rarity order, at least what I think. So you can obviously tell that my cards are out of date because there's no way that they allow this card. They did when I played. This card was super allowed, and that Yada lock. Oh, everyone hated it, but guess what? I ate that shit up. And that's what I did. That was part of my strategy, was being able to use Yatagarasu to go ahead and essentially win the game. And I think no, it's not my only secret rare. We'll see what the other ones are. But it was a fun card. I enjoyed using it. It's been used against me multiple times, but still an interesting card. And then my Jinzo. I don't think it's in good shape anymore. A lot of these cards they were played with. I kept them in sleeves, but let's see. You can see how it's curved. There's there's a major dent right there, as you can see. That wasn't caused by me. I actually got this at a cheaper price because it was damaged. But again, Jinzo for my deck. Again, part of my strategy was to keep the other player from being able to do anything, especially with that Yada lock deck. That stops them from being able to even draw any cards. And if they can't play anything, obviously that plays in my favor. All right, Summon Skull, limited edition. I think this one's a little bit damaged too. Let's pull this card out. I'm not gonna pull out every card. I'm just gonna go over some of them, but I think this one was slightly damaged. Oh yeah, you can see it over there on the this part of the card right here. Pretty damaged. Yeah, I got this one for I remember getting this at a cheaper price as well. But again, and you'll see why. Well, on top of Summon Skull, it's a 1 sacrifice and 2500 attack card. So obviously able to do some good damage without having to rely on a whole lot of sacrificing to get that card out there. Because as you can see, hold on. No, that one's not a fiend. Yeah, Yatagarasu, it goes to the graveyard. You can't play it again. At least not when I was playing. Yeah, I don't think you could. I don't remember all the cards, but I'm sure there was something that you can pull from a graveyard. So, Dark Necrofear. That was definitely one of the cards. A lot of my cards are fiends, and it makes sense because in order to use Dark Necrofear, you have to give away 3 fiend cards from your graveyard, and of course that's what I did. Again, a little bit of brute force as well for my deck. But there was always a strategy of some sort. But if I couldn't Yada lock somebody, then I'm going to beat them down. And then Dark Ruler, I pronounce it Hades. But in order to prevent somebody else from being able to do anything, especially with effect cards like Man-Eater Bug, things like that, this guy stops it all. And definitely part of my strategy to prevent the other player from being able to do anything. Guardian Sphinx. So I played this guy as well. Part of my strategy to eliminate the opponent from being able to have any cards on the field, especially monster cards. So this guy, puts monsters back in your hand. And when there's no monsters on your side of the field, well, guess what? I'm going to hit you with my Yada. You can't draw. Sometimes work, most of the times work, but, it depends on what gets put back into the other player's hand. If it's something that requires no sacrifice, then obviously they're going to be able to get something back on the field. But hopefully the intent was, that they have something where you have to sacrifice, and I get that guy out there, and now they can't put anybody back on the field because they have nothing to sacrifice. All right, now into the less foily cards. So Dark Ruler, when that came out, I was super stoked because Archfiend Soldier doesn't require sacrifice, but it's 1900 attack and actually has pretty good defense, 1500. So again, part of my strategy to one, have Fiend monsters for Dark Necrofear, but also at the same time be able to beat my opponents down. Let's see. Giant Germ, again, part of the Fiend strategy, and definitely able to get Fiends in my graveyard because you destroy one Giant Germ, then you put them, you destroy one of them, then the rest of them get summoned to the field, and then I have Fiend, or, I can sacrifice them and throw them in the graveyard, special summon Dark Necrofear, part of my strategy. And then, if I start getting stuck where, I don't have a whole lot to, defend myself, well, this was my defender. I got the DD Trainer. Again, no sacrifice, but 2000 defense. And they're a Fiend, part of the Dark Ruler series. So, again, that Dark Ruler series, that thing, or Dark Crisis. Man, I don't know why I said Dark Ruler. Because it's Dark Ruler Hades, right? Dark Crisis. Yeah, that Dark Crisis set, helped me out a lot with how I ran my deck. Let's see. Spear Dragon, part of, my ability to, beat them down, as well as, throw down some of their, or, they lose life points, if this guy, the only problem is, shift automatically defense mode, and if they got somebody, obviously I lose my Spear Dragon. Karibo, Lifesaver, gotta have him in your deck. And he's also a Fiend, so help. And then Exiled Force, blow up one of their monsters, get folks off the field, and I can use Yada. All right. Cyberjar, oh man, this guy was always brutal, at least to me anyways, being able to have to, pick everything up off the field and then draw cards. And, well, sorry, not pick up everybody. Destroy them all. And then draw 5 cards. And then special summon any level 4 or below monsters. Again, my strategy of throwing Fiends into the graveyard. And then, these guys, I think these were pretty standard to have in your deck in order to pull other cards. Again, you want to pull a magic or trap card, use these 2 guys. If you want to pull somebody with lower than 1500 attack or defense, that's where you're going to have these 2. Let's make sure I didn't miss anything with these cards. Oh yeah, this Cyberjar. I think one of my previous videos I talked about why I was super stoked about pulling a Cyberjar. Because this guy is just not in good condition at all. You can see how freaking jacked up it was. But, again, my intent wasn't, at least back then, to collect these cards to one day be able to sell them off or anything. But be able to use them to, battle. That was my thing. I enjoyed, playing this game. And obviously it makes sense that I was super into Dark Crisis because, well, all my Dark Crisis cards are first edition. I was super quick to buy those packs and to obtain those cards. So here is the first. This is the first from the first pack I ever opened. This was the first card, first rare I ever got, like ever, like including super rare, ultra, all that stuff. Pot of Greed. This came from the first pack I ever opened. Was this Pot of Greed? And I looked at it. I'm like, oh, okay, draw 2 cards. That seems like pretty ideal thing to want to do. Be able to draw 2 cards. And immediately in the rules, Pot of Greed. You only have one. I guess it makes sense. I don't want you drawing all your cards. Pretty standard card right here. Monster Reborn. And you'll see as we go all the way through as well. I would say like 98% of my cards are foils because as well back then I like shiny cards. I want to be able to play with the shiny deck because it made me, seem like I had my shit together. I don't know. But Monster Reborn, Raigeki, just gotta destroy everybody, right? This one, oh man, I got this one for cheap as well because there's a nice little cut right there, as you can see. Not cool at all, but I didn't get these cards, as collectors. I got them as I'm gonna beat you down. I want to win the game. Heart of the cards, right? Change of Heart. Again, sorry, I just pulled that super quick. I think this was like the last rare card, or this one's ultra rare. But I think this was like the last one I got before I felt that my whole deck actually had something shiny and something useful in my deck. And of course, common card, you steal somebody's monster and then sacrifice it. Now they don't have anybody. Harpy's Feather Duster, pretty awesome card. Again, all the way back from the SDD era. And I haven't looked at the rules recently, but back then you could have 2 Mystical Space Typhoons, so I ran that in my deck as well. One of them's a first edition, but both of them are Magic Rulers. Let me see what this first edition, what kind of condition it is. 'Cause I don't remember if I bought this card. If I bought it individual. Well, I mean, yeah, because I definitely didn't have any first edition Magic Ruler decks. I think this one's in actually pretty good condition, other than, it's bent a little bit. Let's see the back of the card. As you can see, there's a little wear and tear on the back, just because, it was played with, again, that was my intent with this game, was play. But overall, I think this one's actually in pretty good condition, considering. Obviously, on the side of it, a little bit worn. Again, that's part of the battle damage of playing with these cards. As much as I was playing with them all the time. Every week, down at this flea market thing, they held a tournament. It was like $5. Forceful Sentry. All right. So again, trying to get rid of their cards or get rid of their field. Well, if I have this in my hand and I'm able to throw their cards into the graveyard, or if I'm able to put their cards back in their hand, I have that thing available. Well, I'm gonna look at monsters and I'm gonna say you need to put that away. Same thing with Delinquent Duo. Again, another ability to look at their cards. And I'm gonna steal. Well, this one I don't get to look at them. I just have to pick one randomly, right? And with the hopes of finding a monster that I can get rid of, and now they don't have anything to lay down on the field as I Yugioh them. Heavy Storm, ways to keep them from being able to use traps and magic against my Yugioh if that's the intent. Swords of Revealing Light. Again, if I'm stuck, I'm going to use that to buy some time until I can get something I need. Book of Moon. being able to throw something in defense mode, especially if it has low defense. This was actually one of the few cards that I don't have holographic of, or not a rare, super rare, ultra rare, or anything like that. But it's still first edition. My body is a shield, being able to negate activation effects, things like that. Scapegoat, again, another way to delay the inevitable. I'm getting stuck. I have nothing else to do. I have that bad boy there to keep me going. Mage power, part of my ability to beat him down. This card, this is probably, again, my favorite trap card of all time. And I was always frustrated because I rarely was able to use it. Every time I had it, I never had like good opportunities to make it work. And that kind of sucked for me because, again, I think it's like one of the neater looking cards. One of my favorite trap cards, just because, you destroy all their attack position monsters using that. And unfortunately, I didn't get an opportunity a whole lot to use it. I wish I could make it work. I don't think I've ever, even the opportunities I had with it on the field and I used it, a lot of times it just got negated. Somebody had something to negate it. Something like Imperial Order. Sorry, no, that's for Magic cards. Imperial Order works on Magic cards. But somebody always had a card that negated the effect of it activating. Imperial Order. It felt like it was one of those standard cards that everybody had in their deck back in the day. Torrential Tribute. Again, another way to get rid of their cards. Yes, to get rid of my cards as well, but, I'm just trying to eliminate everything from their side so that my Yada can beat you down. All right. Dust Tornado. I think this was probably one of the more common cards I saw that got rid of my Mirror Force, but that's fine. Mishizuri, ability to get somebody to the graveyard. Again, part of that. Get rid of cards on their side of the field. The Bottomless Trap Hole. Especially with 1,500 or more. So anytime they sacrifice something, this guy was always on the field ready for when somebody sacrificed. If they put a big dog monster out on the field, get rid of it real quick. Wabaku, this is the other card that's not a rare, super rare, or ultimate secret or any of that stuff. But it definitely helped buy me time when I'm having a difficult time getting something on the field, or my life points are wide open, things of that nature. Call of the Haunted. This was it's not my favorite card in the world, but it's definitely one that I really liked all the time, just because the design of the card, not just because it's a super or a ultra rare, but I just really enjoyed the design of the card, just kind of creepy and whatnot. But this one definitely, saved me from losing a game. If I need something on the field, I don't have any cards, or I don't have any monsters, protect my life points. Always came in clutch. Spellbinding Circle. Again, buy me time to not lose the game because I don't have anything available to put on the field. And then Mystical Shield Type 8. So before I started using this card, I was using Magic Jammer. But this one actually way better than Magic Jammer because you could either negate or you can destroy it. Or negate that spell card that designates a monster on the field as a target, or discard one hand to your graveyard at the activation of the spell card. So either way, get rid of the spell card, but you have two options on how you want to do it. So that was the deck I ran when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day, and I really enjoyed using it and beating folks down, trying to get creative on how I got cards out on the field and whatnot. But now I have my cards on the side that either never really made it into my deck, but either I found in booster packs, stuff like that, or cards, that I just really wanted, and, well, I obtained it, and just kept as collectors. First off, Slifer the Sky Dragon. I think I mentioned it a couple of times, but of the God cards, this one is definitely my favorite. And I bought it off the shelf. I think I bought it for like $15, way back when. But definitely something right off the bat that you could never use in play, and it makes sense because again, it doesn't even tell you what its abilities are. You just have to go off what the game says, and well, people, if they're not doing it right, of course they're gonna mess it up. I think this one is probably my most rare card I feel I have in between my normal deck and in my standby cards, or cards that I don't, my collector card, right? So I got this out of a pack, Exodia Necros, and it's a first edition. I sleeved it up, and I've never used it, I've never touched it, I've never played it. It's just been sitting in the sleeve since I got it. But I think it was like my second pack that I ever got. I was able to pull it, and when I did, the person that sold the pack to me anyways, he was very adamant, like, oh, I want to buy that off you, I'll buy it for like $20. I'm like, no man, I'm not gonna sell that card to you. This probably this could be rare one day. I think you could probably sell it for a good amount. I think it's actually still in really good condition, at least from what I can see. But yeah, first edition Exodia Necros. It does have a little bit off centering. That's fine, but definitely in my mind, of the cards I have, probably my most rare card, especially because it is a first edition. Something I used early on, I got a first edition Barrel Dragon. That was, when I didn't really have structure and I just wanted to have high attack cards. I saw this in the Yugioh show, Bandit Keith, he used this card. And, you get lucky, you flip those 2 coins correctly, you're able to destroy one opponent's monster right off the bat using that. And then you get to use its attack. And it is a first edition. I don't think I'm trying to remember if I pulled it or not. I think I did. But I don't think it's in good condition, though. I think, yeah, you can see on the side. Right there. It's a little bit messed up. But still awesome to have. And again, it's a first edition. Metal Raiders, so. I think, I got them together. Perfect. All right. I think I bought a Pegasus starter deck, and of course it comes with Relinquish. But with it, because it is required with it, is the Black Illusion Ritual. Definitely not in good shape. You can see some damage up there in the top. But I bought it because I wanted to get this relinquished. You can see there's some damage on that card as well. But, one of those attempts for me to try to use its effects. Let's see, I got 2 of them. Let me see, I'm pulling both out. Both from starter deck Joey. Red Eyes Black Dragons. Yeah, I got 2 of them. Again, one, oh no, this is 2 sacrifice because it's 7. again, part of me getting into the game was watching the show, and of course, one of the big cards in the show is Red Eyes Black Dragon. I can't remember why I have two of them, but I do. But I want to say I bought a starter deck Joey, but I didn't. I don't know how I got the second one. I think maybe a friend gave it to me. I can't remember. Guardian Seal from Dark Ruler. I never use this card, but I found it in the pack and I sleeved it up. Never used it. Never had any real way to fit it into my deck. But still, cool card to have. I think these two I got from friends as well. 'Cause I definitely don't have the third one. Sangha Thunder and Kaze Jin. Both from Metal Raiders. I wonder if they're still in good condition. Yeah, not too bad. I don't remember if I pulled these. It actually looks like they're still actually really good shape. If I pulled these, or if I got these from a friend of mine, because I know a friend of mine, he stopped playing and he gave me a bunch of cards. Oh man, yeah, that thing's in pretty bad shape. Let's see, what else do we have in here before I go in? You'll see a couple of them. Yeah, I got a second Dark Necrofear. I think this one I actually pulled. But again, I already had one in my deck. No reason to have a second one. Curse of Dragon. I think this one, I think I bought this card and threw it in my deck because, again, Yu-Gi-Oh! The show. One of those cards where, well, I gotta have it in my deck. If Yugi has it in his deck, I must have it in my deck, and if I have it in my deck, I can win, right? I think that's how it works. Z Metal Tank, got this from a pack from Magician's Force, first edition. Never used it because I didn't get X or Y. But it should be in actually really good condition because, again, I got it and I sleeved it and I never used it. Oh, there's some dents right there. Well, but yeah. Let's see. I have to pull it from the back since you can't see it. Penguin Soldier. Hell yeah. Return of 2 monsters to the field to the owner's hand. It was good before, I had stuff, that were Fiend cards, or even that Guardian Sphinx, putting my monsters back on the field. Plus, this guy, low attack point. A lot easier to, put on the field to make that happen, but not a Fiend, so, I removed it out of my deck. Man-Eater Bug. Got this from a pack one day. Opened up a LOB. I did have one that was not super rare. And I did run it in my deck for a long time because, again, you get to destroy a monster in the field. But again, it's not a Fiend. So as I started tailoring my deck to Fiend decks, I started pulling cards away. A second Karibo. What else? So this is a Regeki that I think I actually got it from a pack, but let's see. It's obviously in a lot better condition than. Oh wait, what is that? Oh, there's a little white mark on there, right there. I don't know where that came from. Obviously in a lot better condition. I pulled it from a pack, but I didn't use it in my deck because I already had one, and I'd rather use the one that's not very good in my deck than the one that's really nice. But you can see that there's some marks on there, things like that. And of course, one of the videos I posted recently shows me getting Raigeki from those blisters that I think it was the first video I posted, maybe the second one, I can't remember. Axe of Despair. I think this one was just given to me from a friend. Again, he stopped playing it. I had no use for the card, but somebody's giving you free cards. Well, I'm gonna hold on to it. Salamandra, old Joey. Somebody gave me this card. Again, had no use for it in my deck, so I just put it away with the rest of my cards. Let's see. Limiter removal. I got 2 of these. One of them is a first edition. This one. So I got 2 of them. But I'm not going to show the other one because there's no point. But this one, first edition, given to me for free. Again, a lot of these, no, not a lot of them. Yeah, there's some damage on there. But still cool because it's a first edition. And it's Pharaoh's Servant. Again, had no use in my deck, but again, free cards. This guy. I removed him out. I mean, I know he has like a lot of benefits for returning cards of the field, but it also returns your own cards, so I didn't care for that much for that. Even though one could argue having Heavy Storm in your deck, where now you're destroying all your cards. But at the same time, when you do Giant Tornado, now you're loading your hand up with cards, and you got too many cards in your hand. Now you got to start discarding. Soul Exchange. I had this in there for a bit. Again, a way to use a monster of mine and a monster of theirs in order to tribute. This one I stopped putting in my deck. I think I had like enough cards in order to get people off the field and things like that. But it also messed with my deck as well. Dark Hole, destroying all monsters on the field. It is a super rare. I'm like fairly certain I pulled it. Oh man, look how awesome that is. You can see there's a little bit of damage up there. But yeah, now I'm destroying my own cards. Can't work with that very well. Card destruction. All right, being able to discard all the cards in your hand and then draw the exact same number. Sometimes it came in handy, but more often than not, I found myself not using it as much. But it could be argued again for my deck as a way to be able to get cards to the graveyard and then also be able to pull a card like Dark Necrofear. Especially if I don't have it in my hand, I can get it using that card. Graceful Charity. I don't know. I guess I couldn't really find a way to make this card very effective for me, even though again, you get to draw cards, but you're pulling 2 and getting, or pulling 3 and then you're getting rid of 2. It's, I don't know. It didn't seem to flow very well with my deck, so I threw it off to the side. But starter deck Pegasus, great. Tribute to the Doom. I did like this card, being able to destroy 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, destroy 1 monster card on the field, regardless of position. It helped out a good amount, but one of them was mine. One of them was definitely given to me from a friend. But again, it's how my deck worked out. It just didn't seem to make sense in there anymore. first edition Magic Jammer. Again, I had this in my deck until I used that Type 8. You know, I'm still discarding a card and negating the effect of a magic card. But again, you have a second alternate way. You know, you got two options with the Type 8 shield. So this one just didn't make as much sense anymore. But still, it's a first edition. Let's see. Now, before Dark Crisis came out, you know, again, I'm running a Fiend deck. You know, I needed something with some didn't require sacrifice, but at the same time, being able to get a high attack card in the field, and that's what Octocops did. So I actually have 3 first edition cards, but I'm just going to show you the one right now. But this is what I had in my field or my deck before I moved over to Archfiend. Again, trying to get low sacrifice cards in order to be able to, you know, attack as well as be able to, you know, get Dark Necrofear out there. So you saw that, you know, I had Slifer the Sky Dragon in my deck. So obviously it made sense to have this card in my deck. You know, if, you know, it ever made sense to actually use. So infinite card. Let's see if there's anything else. No, I mean, I can show you what else I got. Just makes sense to, so. Okay, so I probably should have done this at the beginning, but hey, I got another thing from the Booster Box Bros. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this for you guys. The last package I got from Genesis Impacts. You know, that was freaking awesome. So I expect nothing but greatness again from the Bros. All right, for the shot. So for those of you that don't know, on that video, I was at a bar while I was watching it, and so again they told him that I'll do a shot, and oh yeah, that's oh yes, I remember now. So they opened up a pack for me, and I asked them, yeah, they said they would open up a pack for me, and so I asked them, you know, to sign it. So I gotta open this thing because I think this is really, really cool. Collector's card. Well, there's cards, plural, but this one. All right, and this is from the Rage of Raw. So, Mechlor Defender, Left Arm Offering, Yugioh, and of course these cards were already open, so I knew exactly what these cards were. And then the best card that I got, Jinzo, signed by the Booster Box Bros. So that's really, really cool. Well, that's it for this video. It was definitely fun to look back and see what cards I used, you know, back when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Definitely wouldn't last a second in how the game is played today. Seems like it's very fast-paced, and I don't think any of my cards would survive. And I imagine a whole lot of you out there would agree with that. But with that being said, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the video, and of course leave content of what you liked, didn't like, or whatever you want to talk about in regards to this video. And then, of course, big shout out to Booster Box Bros. If you haven't already, get on their channel, subscribe, like their videos, comment on their videos. They also do giveaways, so and they definitely post some awesome content. So got to check them out, and I'll make sure that I put them in the description. With that being said, y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see all of y'all later. Out.